recording. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We just spent a little time on a chat where we talked about what's going on in our bodies. So, we're going to focus in. But our theme for this practice is around suffering and alleviating suffering. Okay. So, at this time in the world, there's a lot of suffering. And many of us are empathic, and we may just go outdoors and feel the soup, the thickness of the air with what's happening. But a lot is being released and healed. So, with all that we're doing in our own lives individually, with our gardening and mowing and work in the kitchen where you're forward a lot, we want to accentuate alleviating tension, especially in the low back, the hips, and we'll also work with shoulders and the neck. So that's where we're headed today. And we'll start with our centering like we usually do, and then we'll get right to it. So if you'd like to bring your hand into mudra, your favorite mudra, you're welcome to do that. And palms down is more grounding, palms up is more directed towards spiritual. Both are good. It just is what is your need in this moment. So if you feel comfortable, just close your eyes. Let your hips and legs sink down into your mat, into your cushion if you're using one, and raise your spine, raise your crown, your spiritual center, and open your crown center like a lotus flower on top of your head. And allow prana, the divine energy, light, whatever you want to call it, just allow that to flow in and fill up your whole body. Just let it, like a pitcher, filling you up. And once your body is filled up, expand that light, that prana, out maybe 4 feet from your body, and create your sphere or pyramid, and allow that light to fill up the sacred space around you. Now, if you want to extend your sphere so it's really big, as big as the room that you're in, whatever feels good for you to do. Creating your sacred space for your yoga practice and for your consciousness work as well. And become aware of your breath. Notice how it's going. What's your pace? Notice your nervous system and your emotional body. What are you feeling in your nerves? Are you jangled or even upset? Maybe emotions. Now, working outdoors is a great way to assist with that. And then check in with your physical body, which we just talked before we turned on the recording. But sometimes when we sit in stillness, things will show up that we weren't aware of before. So allow for that. Now, I would like you to know that the light that you brought in as we sat down and settled in, the light you brought into your body and your sacred space can help with alleviating tension and pain in your body. And we'll be working with that in our yoga poses a little bit too. So we'll attune to breath, just bringing palms in to prayer hands. And let's go the other way. We're coming into the new moon, which is Friday, and there's another eclipse. So just kind of watch the energies. So start with your deep breath. And as you exhale, take your hands down out to the side and then breathe, palms up overhead. And bring your palms down, out, and inhale up. You can turn your fingertips down. That's a form of release. And 2 more rounds of cleansing breath. Last one. And come down. Ending in prayer hands, Anjali Mudra. And then softly open your eyes. And if you're using a cushion, just remove that for now. And let's come up onto the balls of our feet. Okay. And we'll rock on our toes. Press your heels down as you go to the back and get a nice stretch there. Bring your knees closer and closer to the floor. And then just set your knees down and lift up sitting on your heels. If at any moment your feet start to get really painful, then just let the tops of your feet down onto your mat. But for now, just bring your arms around to the back Inhale a deep breath. Lift your sternum. Draw your shoulder blades together. Exhale and stretch your arms away. Lift. Just loosen up in your shoulders. Let them come down. Relax for a moment. Breathe. Exhale. Squeeze shoulder blades closer and take your arms away in the back. This time, if you like, just lift your chin and squeeze. Contract the muscles around your neck and shoulders. Stretch your throat. You can even arch to the back. And release. Circle around a few times. Big circles. Make them really big. 3 times each direction. Reverse. All right, we're going to let our toes out. Just come forward onto your palms. Let your toes out and pat them on the mat. Circle around in your ankles, both directions. Flex and point. And then squeeze your toes, stretch them out, squeeze and stretch. Okay. So now just come down sitting in easy pose. All right. Now just separate your feet out into butterfly, but let your feet out in front a little bit more. And just a few wing beats. And while you're beating your wings, I want to go over a couple of things. So as you feel looser and looser in your hips, bring your feet in closer and see if you can get your knees to come down a little lower. Okay, so we're focusing on the concept of suffering. So there's a Sanskrit word that means suffering, and it is dukkha, Duhkha. I believe that's how it's pronounced, but it's an important Buddhist and yoga concept that also means pain and dissatisfaction, and it represents something to be at peace with or overcome. So, around that, just continue with your butterflies, bringing your knees up and lowering them down, loosening up in your groin, your hip joints. So, to alleviate suffering, there's a yoga sutra that says the cause of suffering is the inability to distinguish between two entities within yourself. That is the self with a capital S, or seer, um, also known as the witness. Okay, that part of you that is connected directly to the source and that has no judgment of you whatsoever, no matter what you do, no matter how foolish you may act from time to time. Although maybe you don't, but in my past, I've gone through some of those times where I think I was. So there's the witness or the seer, the higher self, and the mind, which includes your thoughts and emotions. So distinguishing between the two closely related entities and understanding the role of each and the relationship between them is a central goal of yoga and the key to your happiness and peace. So just stretch your legs out, shake out your knees. So one way you can think of it, all right, go into windshield wipers, and then separate your knees, take your arms back, and just go side to side for a few times here as I go through this. So think of it this way. Imagine that you are a personal assistant who works closely with your boss and functions as her representative in public. So you would be the one to present your boss, to maybe answer the phone, um, maybe fill in meetings for your boss, things like that. Okay. So you would be like the face of your boss, the presenter. And think about if you were to begin to feel and act as if you were the boss rather than your boss. Um, Forgetting to consult or even recognize your boss anymore. So take your legs out to the side and just open your knees, okay? Obviously, some problems would likely occur if this distinction were blurred. So think of the self, the seer, or the witness, the self with the capital S, as the boss, and the mind as the boss's instrument or assistance, recognizing the distinct role each one plays. Once you understand that, that's when you will acquire a clearer perception. Okay, so we're going to come back up onto the balls of our feet and just open the hips now. So we've worked our toes. Just bring your hands in between your thighs, step your feet apart a little more, and then open one knee. This is great for hip openers. Other side, press your knee back. Now, as you press your knee back, do that on the exhale. Move, always stretch on the exhale. So inhale as you're switching sides. Exhale and do it slowly, especially if you have an issue in your hip or your low back. And then we'll come down in center for Malasana or the goddess pose. Just come down onto both feet. Get comfortable with the distance between your heels. Press your knees open and lift in your spine. Bring your thumbs to your sternum and relax into the stretch. Press your knees open and lift. Breathe. Now for a little bit more stretch, bring your palms down and just lean forward with your legs on your elbows or the upper arm. Just let your legs open. And then we're just going to lift our hips up, bring weight onto your hands, lift your hips into ragdoll. You can hold on to your elbows if you wish.
So you want to start to straighten your knees if you can. Since it's later in the day, it might be easier than in the morning. So you can have your hands on your ankles or your feet wherever you want. But take in your deep breath and soften your knees. Exhale and lift your hips and see if you can draw in your torso towards your knees. And repeat. Soften knees, inhale. Exhale and lift. Now, this time, soften your knees, bring your arms around back, interlace your fingers, and stretch your arms up. Loosen up in your shoulders, forward and back. Take in your breath. Exhale, lift your hips, and let the weight of your arms bring you a little bit closer into your knees. And then bend your knees, lower your arms gently, and then separate your hands and breathe and lift your arms up into chair pose. Knees over your toes. And then push the floor away. Reach your fingertips up to the ceiling. And open your arms out. Separate your feet, and we'll come into a standing twist, loosening up shoulders and spine. Now, somebody had asked about working with shoulders because many of us, whether we work in an office or we're working out of our home office, a lot of times we just get so tight in our shoulders and necks. So, one of the poses we're going to work on tonight is eagle pose, Garudasana, because the eagle arms are really helpful to the whole upper back, the trapezius muscles, shoulders. So we're just going to loosen up a little bit more in our arms and shoulders, and then we'll work down to hips and legs a little more. So just take your left arm forward, inhale it up and back. Other arm, we're just going to repeat this a few times. Inhale up, exhale. Now try to take it back and open as much as you can with your torso forward. Move with your breath. Exhale into the stretch. Okay, and just a couple times, reverse. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. Try to come in close to your ear. Kind of like swimming, isn't it? Breathe last time. And down. Okay. Circle around in your shoulders. Big circles once again, just a few times. Okay. So just bring your arms out. We're going to work on the neck first, but just kind of give yourself a big hug. If you can hold on to your shoulders, hold on there. Um, but just keep that position and take in your breath. Reach up through your crown, press down through your feet, ground into the earth. Deep breath. Exhale, chin down to your chest. Feel what happens in your back and your neck. Inhale, lift. Take it to the back, lift your chin. Exhale.
Inhale up to center. Exhale. See if you can reach further. Can you reach your angel wings? Your scapula? Inhale, lift. Squeeze, lift your shoulders, press your head back. Take in another breath. Exhale, chin to chest. Now roll a little bit further forward, rolling down your spine. Draw your tummy in, navel to spine. Come down just to the root of your thighs, just to your groin area. And then let your arms go and let them swing. Just let them be free. Swing them, but let them swing freely. Let your head bobble a little bit. Loosen up. Let go of controlling it. Let go of tension. Turn your head side to side. Watch out for necklaces. And now just bobble in your torso. And everything be loose. Okay, now just take your arms. You might want to separate your feet a little further for balance and just swing your arms, your torso, but let your arms be free. If your elbows want to bend, that's fine. And then come back up into standing, shake it out. Good job. All right. So from here, we're going to work with our eagle arms. Okay. So one way to get into eagle arms is to just hinge forward a little bit in your hips, not far, just, a little bit. Breathe your arms out to the side and swing them in, right arm underneath the left. Bend your elbows, bring your palms together if they're calm, and lift up, just standing tall. This is all the further we're going right now. So now we're going to stretch a little bit more in our shoulders and back. So I'll turn sideways so you can see a little bit. We want to inhale, lift your elbows up. Exhale, stretch them down. And if it feels more natural for you to exhale on the lift, whatever feels natural for you here. To me, it feels more natural to lift and inhale and exhale down. Now, as you pull your elbows down, lift your head, stretch your neck up like turtle. One more lift, inhale or exhale. And draw your elbows down and hold there. Pull up in your head, down in your shoulders and elbows. And then slowly unfold your eagle wings. All right. So just bend in your elbows, kind of swing. And then bring it down into your wrists, loosen up, reverse. Bring the energy down into your fingers, squeeze and open. These are your talons, the eagle's talons, very strong, powerful. Okay, so now we'll go to the other side. So just a little hinge forward, taking a breath, arms out. This time, left arm underneath, exhale, swing it in and come up into standing. Now notice how this feels compared to the first side. Is it easier or harder? And then breathe and lift, elbows up. Exhale down. Stretch them up. See how high you can go. Really pull elbows down. And lower down. Okay, so hold your pose there, drawing your elbows down. If you're a little more voluptuous than I am, just kind of reach your elbows forward and down. Lift up through your crown. Extend up in the cervical spine, not your chin, your spine. Elongate your spinal column. Ground into the earth. Keep pulling down. It actually helps to pull down and forward. I'm finding that it opens the trapezius and your scapula a little bit more. And then slowly unfold your wings and swing, bend your elbows, loosen up, let the circulation come back in and down into your wrists. Reverse. And squeeze fingers, talons, and open and close. Good job. Okay, so the legs in Garudasana are crossed. So we're just going to practice a couple times because we've been standing here. We're going to practice bending our knees. So just bring your arms up. Inhale to parallel to the floor. Exhale, bend your knees into chair pose. And inhale up. Just lift up onto the balls of your feet and then lower back down, bend your knees. So inhale up. Exhale down. Good. And then release. Okay, so we're going to bring our arms into eagle arms, eagle wings first. But just come into a powerful Tadasana, mountain pose. Eagles soar over mountains, rivers. Ground into the earth. Connect with Earth Mother. Allow her energy to flow up into you, to ground you, to nurture you. Just breathe a normalizing deep breath, okay? Inhale, long deep breath. Exhale, let the energy flow down into the earth. Okay. Now for our arms. Hinge forward a little bit in your hips. The right arm will be coming down first, so I'm not mirroring you on this one. So inhale, arms out, and bring them in to your eagle arms. Good. Take in your deep breath. Find a spot that you're going to focus on here for your, because this is a balance pose. Take in a breath. Exhale, soften your knees, bend them, and shift the weight to your left foot. Lift your right leg up over the thigh and bring the foot so you're crossing your leg. If you need to, you can bring your toes onto the floor. Straighten your back, but if you're able to, just bring that foot right around. Keep your hips forward. Focus. And come out and release your arms. Notice how your neck and shoulders feel. Wow. Some improvement there, huh? Hopefully. Okay, good. All right, other side. Good, powerful Tadasana, mountain pose. Ground into the earth. Send your roots down. Find your spot. a slight hinge forward in your hips, arms out. Inhale, left arm underneath into Garudasana arms. Take in your breath, find your spot, because with your arms on the side, you may have to shift a little bit, and that's fine. Breathe in, soften your knees, bend, shift the weight to your right foot, cross up and over, take your time. If you fall out, just come back in. Sometimes one side is easier than the other. One side might be stronger. Sometimes our eagles are a little wobbly. So just come wherever you're able. Draw your elbows down. Hips forward. And unwind your legs, unfold your wings, shake them out, and circle around a few times. Now, just a little bit more for the neck. Just take your left ear to your left shoulder, nose pointing forward. Just stretch the side of your neck. Take in a breath. Exhale, ear a little closer to your shoulder. Breathe. Closer. Now let it just hang there to the side. Now to come out of this, be very gentle with yourself. It's a vulnerable area, so press down in your feet, lift up through your body, and bring your head back to center, and then turn your head side to side. Loosen. And then facing forward again, take in your breath, reach up through your crown. Exhale, your right ear to your right shoulder. Try to keep the opposite shoulder down. You want to keep them level. Take in a deep breath, press down in your feet, lift up through your torso. Exhale a little deeper into your stretch. Nose points forward. Exhale, go a little deeper. And then just let it hang there. To come out, firmly press your feet down and roll up through your legs, up through your spine, and finally up through your neck, and turn your head side to side. Good job. Okay, so just bring your feet back towards the back end of your mat and walk your hands forward for a plank pose. Press through your heels, navel to spine. And then lower your knees and bring your knees in. I'm going to turn sideways because we're just going to go over a little bit of what we did before we turned on the recording. Loosen up in your wrists. So for this, for those who are pretty avid gardeners or yard workers or in the kitchen or on the computer, sometimes we get kind of tight back here in our spine, probably, let's see, well, Okay, if you take your hands on top of your hip bones and with your thumbs around to the back, and then press your palms down on your hips, but turn your fingertips down, and then just slide your hands around to the back. Okay, then bring your elbows closer together. You can turn your toes under for balance, but now just lift your thumbs to that area. Palpate where the iliac crest goes in towards the spine, and then take your thumbs, find the spine, lift up from your knees. You can do this in standing as well, but lift your torso, your heart, and then exhale and press firmly into that area and massage it. You might have some pain, some tension stuck in there, and then move up maybe a half an inch. Deep breath. Lift up out of your spine, elongate, and then massage that area with your thumbs right here. Lift up and lean back, because that takes the muscles out of contraction and lets them soften. And then when you massage it, it releases the tension. And then just work your way up a little bit further. Breathe. If you find a spot that hurts, that's where you want to massage and use your pressure. Okay, so come back forward into your plank pose. Bring the tops of your feet down onto the mat. Let your legs come down for this one. We're going to go into Cobra. So initially, just press down in your palms as though you're dragging your body forward. Lift your shoulders up, back, and down, opening the heart center. Bend your elbows and bring the pubic triangle down onto the mat. Forearms are close to the ribs. Lengthen out, lift up, breathe. Good. Press up and back into child's pose. Bring your arms next to your legs, thumbs by your ankles, palms up, unless you need to use your arms for a pillow. And you're welcome to do that, of course. So whatever works for you best. Remember, prana is the vital life force that is everywhere. It connects everything. And if you have a spot that's tight or painful while you're in child's pose, use your pranayama. Control the breath. Breathe it in. Exhale and relax that area. Even if it's painful, let it relax. Softly let it go. You can do this anywhere in your body to relax and to open. Now bring your palms next to your knees and press up. We're going into a twist, but down onto your back. So if you need any accessories for your Shavasana, have them beside you. Just lower down onto your back. Bring both feet onto the floor, arms out to the side, T position. Press down on your feet, lift your hips, come over onto your right hip, stretch out your right leg. Breathe your left knee up to your chest, bring it in close. Exhale it over to your right. Keep your shoulders on the ground and breathe and allow the hip and the spine to relax. Full spinal twist. Shoulders down. Breathe. Starting with your sacrum, roll it onto the floor. Bring both feet onto the floor. Align in center. Press down on both feet. Lift the hips and come over onto your left hip. Stretch out your left leg. Press down in your arms as you breathe your right knee up to your chest. And exhale, just take it on over, keeping your shoulders down. Don't let your shoulders come up. Let the weight of your leg pull you into your twist. As you relax it, you'll twist more and more. Remember to turn your head and relax. Breathe. Let it feel so, so good. Bring your awareness down to your sacrum area and roll it onto the floor. Align yourself onto your mat for your Shavasana, remembering the witness and the mind, the difference between the two. I will send that to you in a text after our class is done, but just lower down and soften. Breathe into your relaxation. A couple of breaths, then let your breath return to normal, just natural breathing. Let yourself relax more than you've ever relaxed before. Sinking, floating down. Now bring your awareness back to your body, remaining still. Feel the stillness, the peacefulness. Peace is the highest vibration you can achieve. Feel the peace. Let your vibration rise, meeting the unified. Feel the source. And then allowing some breaths to come in and out, which will initiate the movement in your body as you breathe. And breathe that prana down into your fingers and start to wiggle them. Breathe it down your legs and down into your toes and start to wiggle them. And then slide as you breathe your legs together and up to your chest. Exhale into a nice stretch. And then come over onto one side. Just relax for a couple breaths on your side. Come back slowly. There's no rush. And then roll up into sitting. And just bring your hands together, but press your pinky fingers and your thumbs together and open the other fingers. So I don't know if you can see that or not, into the lotus flower, Padmasana, Padma Mudra. Now all that light that you brought in and bathed your body and the space around you is still there. The light is within and without. So just bring your palms into Anjali Mudra, thumbs touching your heart center, your sternum. A little bow of your head to honor your higher self and that part of your mind that is the presenter, the one that walks forward and follows higher self. So may peace remain in your heart and light in your soul. Namaste, everybody.